So this is the question, is this egg gonna cook right and be able to come off with no oil? Let's find out. So did our place just crack the code on a pan that's non-toxic, non-stick, versatile, dishwasher safe, and easy to clean? I'm not a chef or in the industry. I'm just a regular guy who cooks a lot, and I'm optimizing for the pan to be safe from a health perspective, easy to use, and effective. And after I saw the ad, I wanted to know. So I got one, and I've been testing it for the last couple of weeks, and I want to tell you about what I think. So let's talk about price. This is a premium pan coming in at $195. And the next thing we're going to talk about is the aesthetics. So this is a modern gloss finish. It has a beautiful bluish gray clad design on the inside. It had a slit on the lid of the pan, and then it had this little nodule on the handle where you would stick their spoon that would slide into the little slot. But the problem with that is it always got in the way, and then steam would come out and it would make the handle really, really hot. Literally every other review that I watched complained about that exact feature, and it looks like they've removed that. So they took the customer feedback and made this better. I think that's a big upgrade. I love the way that this pan looks. It's honestly a really beautiful pan. The only problem with it is because of its finish, it shows fingerprints like a lot. It's really hard to keep it really nice and shiny. Also, it's going to show water spots really easily. And then with just a little bit of use, it's already getting some staining happening on the bottom. However, I have not put this through the dishwasher yet. Next, let's talk about the material and the coating. So this is a 3mm fully clad tri-ply construction, which means that the exterior is stainless steel and the core is aluminum, and then the interior is titanium with their special no-coat non-stick technology. So their whole claim is that their special technology has no coating, is unlike any other non-stick on the market. Their pan is free of PFAS, PTFE, and all the other forever chemicals. By the way, if you're interested or going down the rabbit hole and finding the best non-toxic products, me and the team screened hundreds of products and put them into a database that you can get totally for free at wellnessdaddy.com/database. So go check that out, and let's get on with the video. Let's talk about the performance and my experience using the pan. It's honestly been nothing short of extraordinary. This is probably one of the best pans I've ever used in my entire life, if not the best. On the non-stick test that I did with a egg with no butter, no oil, no nothing, here's what happened. Not gonna lie, I'm very, very impressed. Egg is cooked basically perfectly. So we have just a little bit of stuff left over, but I can literally just run my spoon across the thing and it comes up. This is with no oil whatsoever. It's insanely easy to clean, like so easy. Just a little bit of soap and water and you're good. It heats up really quickly, evenly, and retains the heat really well. It's also relatively deep, so you can fit a lot of food in here. And of course, it's also dishwasher safe if you don't want to hand wash it. That's really cool. I think this actually takes the cake for my favorite pan that I've ever used. It's really easy to cook anything in this. And I cooked 2 ribeyes in this pan, and it had a really, really good sear. Like perfect texture. This bleeds perfectly into the next category, which is versatility. It's deep enough for soups and shallow frying. The lid fits tight and doubles as a steam trap, and it's compatible with all oven types. Yes, even induction. I think this pan gets a 10 out of 10 for versatility. As far as the weight goes, it's a bit heavier than some of the other Our Place pans at 3.4 pounds. It's definitely not light. It has a pretty balanced handle, so you'll be able to move around the kitchen pretty easily with this thing though. And there's no wobbling or warping with repeated high heat use. On to the most important category, which is the health and safety. So the claims that they make about having no coating are misleading because the no coat technology is a titanium oxide coating. But apparently the process is not considered coating because nothing is sprayed, dipped, or applied. I found this in another video about this pan, but an email from the CEO explained that the titanium surface goes through a proprietary curing process, which makes it non-stick. I don't know what a proprietary curing process means, so I have a big question mark there. The video that I found that from was from this channel called 𝐂𝐇𝐀, and he showed that when he took a fork to the inside of the pan, he was able to scrape off the supposedly non-existent coating that the company claims that they don't have. And after I took a deeper look at titanium oxide, I had more questions and more concerns. So titanium Titanium oxide, also known as titanium dioxide, has been used for things like paint and sunscreen and also in some food ingredients. It's also a whitening agent that has been used in cosmetics and other types of products. The FDA considers it to be safe, but on quote-unquote high intake could be harmful. I don't know about you, but I've kind of lost faith in the FDA a little bit. God knows they've never been wrong about anything before. So apparently inhaling titanium dioxide dust has been linked to lung cancer in animal studies, and some research suggests that the nanoparticles of titanium dioxide may cause cell damage and DNA mutation, which could potentially lead to cancer. And the European Food Safety Authority, which is like the European equivalent to the FDA, has basically brought up concerns around this particular compound. Does that mean when you're cooking with this pan, you're releasing those fumes and those particles into your food? I don't know. I think it's just something worth considering, that just because it doesn't have PUFAs in it, or the quote-unquote forever chemicals, doesn't mean it can't have things in it that could be potentially harmful. With that being said, who do I think this is for and who is it not right for? Well, if you want an extremely versatile pan that basically does whatever you need it to do, is dishwasher safe, easy to clean, all those things that I mentioned earlier, and you don't care about these questions and potential concerns from a health perspective, then you'll be happy with this purchase. However, for me personally, when I think about making recommendations, I think about, can I recommend this to my mom? And the answer to that question for this particular product is no, because I just have a lot of unanswered questions. Now, I could be totally wrong and this could be a non-issue and maybe I'm missing something, but from the research that I've done, to me, I just feel like there's much safer options and the risk reward isn't really there. The fact that they say there's no coating and then this other guy scraped off the coating makes me feeling like that's odd. And then, yeah, just the unknowns around the titanium dioxide just doesn't make sense. Even if it's at a very low level, which means there would probably be no impact, I don't really think about it like that. I think about it as like, we live in a pretty toxic world and it's not about the one thing, it's about everything. And I want to do my very best to lower my toxic burden as much as possible and exposure, because it's like death by 1,000 paper cuts. And if you have any type of chronic condition or you have any issues with your immune system or you're susceptible to toxic exposure, then genuinely you want to avoid as much of these things as you can without being totally neurotic. So does this mean that I'll never eat on a quote-unquote toxic pan, or I'll travel with my pans and take them everywhere I go? No, because that level of neuroticism can actually be way worse than just cooking on a pan that may or may not be bad for you. It's just when it comes to my daily drivers and the things that I'm using consistently in my life, I want to get the healthiest one that I can with the least amount of inconvenience. And then once I have it, I can just forget about it and, out of sight, out of mind type of thing, because the things that I'm using the most are the things that actually make the biggest difference. I believe the body is very resilient and it can handle some of these exposures, and actually, to some degree, some of them might actually be good for us because it helps us grow and helps us adapt and become stronger. And when we remove everything, that can be a problem too. But if you're looking for a really good non-toxic pan, I did another video that I'll put right here where I review a bunch of different ones and I talk about all the pros and cons to each of them. And I think you'll find exactly what you're looking for if you're on the hunt for a good, safe, non-toxic pan. So go watch that video right here and I'll see you in the next one. Take care and be well.